There's that overshared podcast bro quote that every man has two lives, and his second one begins when he realizes he only has one. I think there's another, less well understood idea, which is just as important and has the power to change your life just as much, which is that everyone has two lives, and your second one begins when you realize that nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to hold you to a higher standard, to encourage you to do better in life, to force you to do the things that are right for you. When you're a kid, you're told when to go to bed, what to eat, when to brush your teeth, how to develop into a reasonably well put together human. At least if you're fortunate enough to have had a good upbringing, that much is true. And then you go into school and you go into university, and all of these structures and systems are in place to hold you accountable, to try and at least nudge you in the right direction, to make it easier for you to stay on the right path as opposed to going off onto the wrong path. But then something happens, which is you turn about 24, 25, you turn into the beginning of, I guess, a real adult, and all of that structure falls away, right? You might still have a boss in work, you might still have clients in your business, you might have a couple of friends who go to the gym with you and make you lift a bit heavier and tell you to do a bit better in that sense. But really, nobody's keeping tabs on you. Nobody really cares about you. And I don't say that in some sort of depressed, defeatist manner. I say that through a lens of realism. If you zoom out and think about all of the things you could be doing to hold yourself to a higher standard, to live a better life, to live a life closer to the one that you probably deserve, whether that's eating the right foods, getting enough movement, working on yourself, progressing in your career, saving money, being a good person, learning, whatever it might be, nobody is forcing you to do those things. Nobody is coming to save you. We all live in this illusion that somehow, someday things are going to be different, that it will be far easier to go to the gym and stick to that routine in the summer because it will be nicer weather. It will be far easier to eat better foods after that holiday because I'm going to binge out for a week. It will be far easier to save money once I've paid off my car. It will be far easier to learn outside of work once this busy period is over, right? We live in this imagined future that never comes when we tell ourselves that we will eventually, one day in the future, hold ourselves more accountable, hold ourselves to a higher standard, be a better person. And yet, in the now, we always find an excuse. But there's a problem in that, which is that as energy preservation beings, it is our default state to do the bare minimum when we know we can get away with it. It's far easier, you know this, to not go for a run than it is to go for the run. It's far easier to be slightly moody with your partner than to have the difficult conversation to explain why you're struggling right now. It's far easier to do the bare minimum in work rather than to get your head down and progress within your company. It's far easier to spend all your money after payday because it's fun and it feels nice right now than it is to save and invest for your future. I think something crucial changes, and it will shift your life when you really, really embrace the idea that nobody is coming to save you and that you are not going to be any different at any point in the future unless you proactively decide now that you're going to be. Because the only person that can hold you accountable, the only person that can build the structure that we're so used to as children, that we're so used to in school, that we're so used to in university, is you. Unless you marry an incredible life partner who is with you for decades and truly wants the best for you, which I have not done, so I don't know if this will happen for me, there will be nobody in your life from the age of 24-ish onwards who will ever hold you to a high enough standard to push you forward, to encourage you enough to progress. That person, that structure, that system, after a certain age, falls away and it does not exist. And even the people closest to you, even the people who genuinely deep down do want the best for you, they're too consumed with their own life. They're too consumed with their own worries and their own anxieties and their own issues to actually hold you accountable. They might encourage you. They might deep down want you to win, but they're not going to force you to. They're not going to be the ones to stop you vaping and spending all your money on these stupid, brightly colored things that may or may not be killing you. They're not going to stop you from watching Netflix every night or swiping Tinder endlessly. They're not going to do any of those things because they're too busy not doing those things for themselves, right? They're too busy wrapped up in their own problems. The person you think that might be coming to save you does not exist. And if they do, they're sat watching this video right now because the only person who can save you, the only person who can turn your life around, the only person who can give you the life that you deserve before it's too late, before this tiny window of time that you have on this planet is gone, is you. So look, as much as I like watch time, as much as I want to keep you here watching more of my videos, maybe it's a good idea that you stop here. Maybe it's a good idea that you stop watching YouTube right now. You think about what it is you actually want to achieve from life, and then you go away, you make a plan, you decide what it is that you need to do, and you start holding yourself accountable. I mean, really, really accountable, right? Because up until a certain age in life, there are direct negative consequences that you can see and feel immediately for doing the wrong thing, right? You do something stupid as a kid, you get shouted at. You do something bad for your education in school, you get shouted at. There is an immediate feedback loop between negative action that does not serve you and getting some sort of negative punishment, rightly or wrongly. We can discuss whether that's right or wrong, but when that falls away, so many of us default to living this mundane, trudging along, don't really care, apathetic life. And nobody is going to stop you from living that life. Not now, not in the future, not even the people that care most about you. The only person who has the power and the ability and the attention to change your life is you. The second you decide to do that, the second you decide to be that person, your life will change. Until then, it never will. Immediately after this video, you need to realize that nobody is coming to help, nobody is coming to save you, and then you need to save yourself.